Hello everyone, my name is Chris, and Happy New Year! It's now 2024, and as you can see, we've moved from pre-release 1 to 1A. Now apparently this fixes the glitch that made the ghost chicken show up, so hopefully we won't be infested with any more ghost chickens. And with that being said, let the episode begin! Alright, now, first, let's start off with my house. I'll give you a better view here, because I built it on a weird angle like this. But basically, we have a very nice looking chimney, nice stone brick looking stairs to make a roof, wooden walls, just all the basic stuff to build a good looking house. We have these nice little flower pots here. Now, up this way, we can see the Christmas tree that I built on Christmas Day. And right next to it is our nether portal. And over here on the other side, we have this giant tower, which is a place that I built called New Skytown. Now, we can go up this ladder, which will take a moment. But once we make it to the top, as you can see, I have a nice little tree farm here. So, we've got oak trees, pine trees, which is a replacement for spruce trees, eucalyptus trees, which is completely new, and cherry trees, which are separate from the one in 1.20 Minecraft. Now, heading back down this way, right over there is the mines. I have barely used it, but for the times that I have, it has worked fairly good. There's not much to say, it's just a standard mine. Now, that was the back side of my house. If we come down this way, we can see that there are a bunch of paths to different places. In the very front of my house is an unfinished ice rink that I was supposed to finish during December, but I never got around to it. We have the Cheese Island flag, and over here, we have a nice fountain with some water coming out of it, a bench, some tables and chairs, and a cool looking creeper face with lava inside of it. And on the hill over there is a dirt play button that I built for reaching 1K subs on YouTube. Now, this giant statue next to my building is a nether chicken. It's a chicken, and it comes from the nether. Now, close to the nether chicken, if you go down this way, we can see a very nice looking dock place I've built. You have a boat dock, where I go here, I can place down a boat, ride it around. This is if I want to go exploring, or find things such as sand to make glass. Hello! Alright, now, this way is the shop district. We have a lemonade stand, a root beer stand, and a vending machine. But, if you go in between the stands, we have a place called Cheese Donald's. Now, my island's name is Cheese Island, so I've built a McDonald's, but instead of calling it McDonald's, I've called it Cheese Donald's. Now, going inside of here, you can see that the place is well kept, enough. There's a missing light, there's some weird blood going on at the ingredients. It is just good enough to have people sit down and eat their meals. Overall, I think this whole kind of little shop district is probably my favorite building that I've done yet. It just looks so nice. Alright, it's getting late, so here's a little bit more about the inside of my house. We got a bed right here, and I can look out of this window and see the beautiful view of the sun. And, yeah, we got a nice little oven. Don't burn yourself. We got the new trommel block from Better Than Adventure, which basically takes all this stuff and kind of smelts it into useful items like olivine, which is a new item, but then also old items like clay and sulfur, which is gunpowder. Over here, we got my chests. It's just storage. Very unorganized, as you can see. Every chest is full of something different, except for this top one, which has some of my diamonds. We got a nice another little flower pot here, and another window, just in case I want to look outside from this view. Now let's go to bed. Oh, and I nearly forgot. Over there, I just built my last building, which is a new park. Alright, this is the seasonal park, and what it is a nice little park where I can sit down and just relax. It's kind of like a vibe, So basically, the sun rises from behind my house, and let's say the sun decides to set, I can sit right over here with a bunch of beautiful, nice cherry trees and watch the sunset go down. Now, usually these trees are pink because they're cherry trees, but because the season is summer, they're green. But they will be pink soon, so it's alright. And last but not least, right by the seasonal park, is this tiny little campfire, where it's pretty much the same vibe, you know? Except if I don't feel like sitting in a park, I can just relax by a campfire. So yeah, that's what I've done for Cheese Island in 2023. I hope that was a very good kind of explanation of everything I've built. And now, let's move on to the recap of everything I've really done. Alright, here's an entire recap of everything I've done in the Better Than Adventure series. This stuff is like pre-Cheese Island, so everything in the world tour won't be here. In episodes 1 and 2, I built a small greenhouse, and I also found my first diamonds. In episode 3, I wandered around. In episode 4, I found a brand new ore called nether coal, and if you couldn't guess, it's found in the nether. It's used on a new block called the Blast Furnace, similar to the one seen in modern Minecraft. Using nether coal in a blast furnace will smelt iron into a new type of ore called steel. Steel is the most durable ore in the game, and I mean durable. It'll last 10 years before it breaks. Jokes aside, steel tools are so durable that you'll probably only need a new pair of steel tools once every 100 days. In episode 5, I found a dungeon, and it's definitely been altered. Dungeons are no longer boring tiny rooms. They're randomly generated with library rooms, long tunnels, and spike pits. In episode 6, I built a mansion for fun because I was sick. It wasn't really a mansion, just a second house that I called a mansion. Through episodes 7 to 10, I took a big adventure to the brand new glacier biome. This was a biome that was introduced in the update of Better Than Adventure I had first started the series on, which is 1.7.7.0. It added many features, however the glacier biome definitely piqued my interest the most. I traveled 50,000 blocks from my spawn point for the entirety of episode 7, explored the glacier biome and discovered its alternate stone blocks in episode 8, and traveled through the new permafrost dungeon in episode 9. I won't lie, as excited as I was to find the permafrost dungeon and find the new ice boots item, it wasn't all that fun. It took long enough finding the permafrost dungeon, only to find out that it's just a reskin version of the regular dungeons. And even on top of that, as it turns out, the ice boots only have one use, and it's to run very fast on ice. But even that feels slippery when you control it. Still, I'm glad that I went out and found the ice skates, because it was a cool objective and gave me something to do. I hope that the mod adds in more loot items like that, because it's quite fun to explore and see what I can find. In episode 10, I traveled 50,000 blocks away from the glacier biome and back home. Episode 11 was the Halloween special, where I went to bed on Halloween night. After waking up, I found myself in a weird version of my world, with buildings that had resembled the buildings I had made, except they looked a lot creepier. I went through a leaf maze, found a ghost costume, and talked to a weird ghost that had been stalking me for the entirety of that episode. The ghost woke me up, and for whatever reason, decided to possess my greenhouse. Episode 12 marks the beginning of Cheese Island. I had moved to an island next to the one I had lived on, and started building on it. I continued building those structures seen in the World Tour in episodes 13 and 14. In episode 15, I updated the game from 1.7.7.0 to 1.7.7.1's first pre-release version, and explored the new features they had added. Specifically, the redone guidebook, which looks far better than whatever this unorganized thing was supposed to be. They even added categories, man. In episode 14.5, the Christmas special, which was also supposed to be episode 15 before Better Than Adventure decided to update before Christmas, Santa Claus wasn't able to visit Cheese Island for Christmas, so he had sent me on a mission to deliver presents around my world. Episode 16 was a more condensed version of a Better Than Adventure stream I had done after Christmas, where I chatted with an audience live and continued building more structures on Cheese Island. And that's where we're at. So far, I've loved playing Better Than Adventure, and I hope that 2024 will bring even more awesome updates to the mod. That's all for the recap.